每一个文化中都有一种结合。
From the Hunan, from the Cantonese, to the Indian, from the Bangladesh. Here in the United States, we have the luxury to be able to take these ingredients and twist them on their head if we so choose.
就是说，在全世界都有这样的结合，无论是世界各地，它讲的各种地方有一定差异。那他的意思就是说，美国是一种文化之都，在美国的话，我们有这种荣幸能把世界各地的各种文化都结合起来，进行一种更强大的改变吧。
It's part of the melting pot of our culture now is that we can go to a supermarket and probably haven't seen some things in what? Or when I plated some things when you guys came before, things that you were never exposed to before. That was part of the process of being in Hunan province only and never knowing that these other ingredients existed throughout the rest of the world.
就是说，这是一种美国的文化，就像美国的这种大熔炉的文化一样，不仅是各种各样的人种、各种各样的一种食材，各种各样的世界上的饮食文化，也都被聚集在一起。这样，有时候到超市的话，你可能会觉得啊，这种东西我可能看都没看过。比如说我一开始来美国的时候，用 artichoke cod 我根本没有看过。这样的话，在美国人看来，在超市里面能看到湖南的特产，比如说腊肉啊，这些今天我们可以看到的东西，猪耳朵。
It's easy to be trapped in a place with just certain ingredients. Then you see all these other things that you get exposed to, which some people like the tradition, and some people embrace the infusion.
就是说，每个人都有自己的comfort zone，就你觉得自己啊，我天天吃点 pasta 我很舒服，或者说我今天天天吃点炒饭我很舒服。有的人呢比较这个局限于传统，有的人呢更喜欢那种比较 modern 的 infusion 结合。
So whether it's vinegar, in which I could add this vinegar, and you said the vinegar that I had was a really good one. An infusion of flavor.
就相当于他现在给你看那个醋一样，在醋里面加了各种东西，有点像中国的料酒啊。
Whether it's the Szechuan pepper oil or the roasted garlic oil that I'm going to do tonight, or whether it's our lives.
It is liquor base or vinegar base?
It's vinegar.
Vinegar base.
So vinegar and chilies and garlic and whatever.
So you use the liquor bottle?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't throw those bottles out.
Gotcha.
Recycle.
Yeah.
So again, by definition, we're extracting flavor and infusing it with something else. Whether it's alcohol, whether it's vodka, and pineapple, and melons, and raspberries, yes, I can infuse those flavors. Whether it's chilies that I see that are left over that might go bad, I'm going to ferment them. Fermentation process, infusion process, simple thing of making tea the proper way. Infusion of flavor. Making good coffee. Like Vietnamese iced coffee. Yeah, you made it. Right? So here again, an extraction of flavor, what we're looking at. Some people might throw certain things out in the garbage while I'll go, hey, wait a minute, I can use that for something. There's still flavor in the skin of that ginger. Don't throw it out.
Infusion 的话是一种结合，结合的话就是说把日常可能会想不到要用的东西，或者说用剩下的东西，把它的味道提取出来。用化学的手段就是说，它把味道 extraction 出来，然后提炼到其他东西里面，比如说泡一个我们泡饺子常用的葱姜水啊，就把葱的味道和姜的味道提取出来放到水里面。第一是更容易保存，第二的话我们可以把这个葱姜水用在各种各样的其他的方面，这就是一种结合。
We'll start off with oils tonight. The basic concept behind oils is to understand which one should I use for what flavor. Some people get tripped up on that. It's really simplified and it's powerful.
这是油，今天第一步先讲的是油，油这个利用，在什么样的情况下用什么样的油是非常重要的情况。因为中国的话，我们有什么花籽油，我们有橄榄油，有玉米油，在不同的情况下，我们用不同的油来提取不同的味道。
Some will use to actually cook with, some will use to finish on top of things, and some we have to use to deep fry, but it's manipulated by the smoke point. It's the really important.
油的使用会有三个比较大的方面，第一是热锅冷油，一开始把这个油防止粘锅；有的时候呢是在结束的时候把这个油撒到食物上面来提取更大的一种味道。比如说 pasta 的时候会有 garlic oil， 或者说吃 bread 的时候有 olive oil 味道。然后还有的话就是一种更多的一种结合，比如说现在花椒油啊，你知道这个味道，结合就是不同的用处。
smoke points. This is the point, the flash point, where it's getting ready to ignite. Literally, you see it. You walk away from the wok, 2 seconds, it ignites. It catches on fire. This is a guide that tells you which ones that you should be using. I.e., neutral flavored oils are the best because there's no flavor in them. Usually that have a higher smoke point. Canola, peanut,
这个
avocado.
这个表格大概怎么说呢？就是每个油的这种焦点，焦点这个比如说我们有时候烧油把烧热了以后冒烟嘛，焦化其实是这种化学里面物质碳化以后快要被点燃那种过程，这种过程的话会有一种焦香感。我们有时候中国人闻到那种炸的食物和那种焦香，其实就是这种 smoke point。
We might even take certain oils that have a higher smoking point but no flavor, and I'll mix it with butter or olive oil. And what happens is the oil that has the higher smoking point will not allow the other ones to burn, but I'm doing that for flavor.
有的时候呢，我们会有那种油作为一种保护，或者作为一种 buffer，做化学都会成为一种 buffer，把它进行一种其他物质的保护。比如说，因为我们知道黄油它的就那个燃气点比较低，很快就烧起来。但是有时候如果用其他零把它包裹住的话，跟其他的油会让它不会着起来，然后味道保留下来。
所以我今天他今天这个讲座是因为我要求他讲，告诉这些厨师怎么样使用油，怎么样做 sauce 啊，就是说所以他多讲一点这些 basic 的这个食品的这些食材的特性。那么他讲这个油的这个 basic 主要是告诉大家，那么有这个油的这种焦点的改变，那么怎么样保护某些油的 flavor， 让有些油的 flavor 把那个焦点把它提上去。对。
There's some oils that last longer than others. Olive oil, come from olives,
就比
right?
如说有的橄榄油比较容易保存起来，比较好保存那个
Peanut oil comes from peanuts.
花的那个。
Right? Ask them where baby oil comes from.
他们问你那个益生菌这种宝贝的护孙装是从哪里来的？这个用英文写比较好来一点 ，olive oil comes from oil，这个 baby oil comes from baby。
但是讲一个优宠物的，那就他要他问一下你们这个 baby oil 是
Oh, come from where?
Exactly, where did that come from?
from baby butter.
So a couple of rules of thumb. You'll see me do 2 infused oils tonight that I cook with almost exclusively. It's a default button of mine, and it usually starts off with garlic. It's going to be called a garlic confit oil because it's cooked in fat.
今天它会有2种比较特别的油，是它自己相当于独创的油，但它这2种油的话，它们都有比较 key ingredient，就是大蒜、garlic。
Dry ingredients in an oil infusion is shelf stable, meaning it does not have to be refrigerated.
就是说，如果一个干的物质放到油里面的话，它相当于被油封了，保存起来，就不用放到冰箱里面。
他刚刚还讲了一个，对不起，我插一下。他刚刚讲一个，就是在法餐里面最有名的一道菜的 duck confit，就是一个鸭子，它就整个是泡到那个鸭油里面来 cook 的，来烹调的。所以这个油它对于这个 flavor 的 infuse， 这个融到这个鸡的肉里面去，或者鸭的肉里面很重要。
Fresh ingredients, fresh basil, fresh chives, things with water content in them. After you infuse the oil, you have to keep them under
就
refrigeration.
如果是比较新鲜的食材，就或者水分比较重的食材，像葱啊，像比较说的这个菜，
韭菜，
这种东西就算是放到油里面，也是放到冰箱保存的。
You'll see one of the oils that I use to finish is with the fresh herbs, and you'll see the color of it is chartreuse green. It's really pretty. You can use it as a garnish.
今天它会有一个油精，也是作为一个调味的油，最后结束的时候调味油是跟那种药膳结合在一起，药膳的颜色已经完全的吸收到油里面了，所以是一种非常漂亮的绿色。
实际上，里面非常一个重要的方法，就是它最后盛盘以后，它有个 garnish，garnish 就是放调料或者是放装饰的过程。所以它今天要有很多这个一些新鲜的 herb， 就是那些新鲜的蔬菜食材做成那种特别翠绿颜色的油来 garnish 那个盘子，所以大家可以看到。
So I put up a couple of recipes. This is one from Barbara Trott. China Moon, she opened up a restaurant in San Francisco. She's passed away for about 15 years. This is really influential as a young cook. Well, information and books and stepping out and making shepherd's pie or American chop suey or roasted chicken and going, hey, wait a minute, I want to know how to make an oil like that. So for me, looking at these ingredients, Szechuan pepper, it's always been in the back of my mind. As far as steeping, infusion, and
在大概是说在一个非常有名的一个很久的、很有历史的一个老的一个中国餐厅里面的老的厨师，对，蔡澜梦里面他已经去世10多年了，但他做的这么一个辣椒油，就相当于老干妈一样，就是他独家的一个老干妈，就让这个师傅觉得啊，我肯定会觉得我为什么不能也走出自己的一个 comfort zone 里面，探索其他的一种结合，味觉结合。
他讲到了这个作为一个厨师最重要一点，他说沙拉梦的 owner 是一个美国人叫 Robert Chopper，他是一个美国人，但是他创造了一个中国的这种四川的这个豆豉油，那么他说为什么他可以做得到？就作为一个厨师，你要学会去读书，需要去看很多东西，来把它放到你的结合你自己的经验来创造一种东西，所以这都是没有文化区别的，没有文化的方式。
Sagalagoma is my favorite. So I look at the ingredients on the side of the jar because that tells me all the ingredients. So I try to duplicate that all the time. I haven't got there yet, but I'm going to keep trying. This PowerPoint is day 1 next week of my contemporary cuisine class, where we do all oils, and this is the stuff that I'm trying to pass on to the young cooks out there to say this is what you should be doing when you have flavored oils. And I've got one from a couple of different countries, and I go, where do I want to go? Ooh, I got that oil. And just get drizzled on there. So yeah, I have to put that in there.
这就是老干妈的一个
老干妈的
成分表。
他说下个星期，这个 break 以后，新学期开始，他就会向他的学生介绍这个老干妈的做法。他说让那些 young cooker， 就是那些年轻的那些厨师来学到做我们湖南，就是或者是我们中国西南地区的那一种非常特别的一种sauce。
So you can see if you ever want to know how to make something. You flip the ingredients around and it tells you everything that you need to put in.
Why is angry?
Why you said that? I keep the technique. No, the secret one.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I keep trying. It gives me the ingredients right there, so I keep going back and back and back.
Why is
We'll see how close I get to that.
Extremely happy lady, but angry.
I call her angry lady. She doesn't look that happy. In the thing when I looked it up, it said happy lady, and I'm like, that's not happy.
Part of the Chinese culture.
他说那个老干妈的那个女的照片，奶妈妈看上去一脸的开心，但是她为什么名字说的 happy lady 就是开心的 lady， 所以她认为她不开心，所以她给她起名叫生气的 lady， 生气的。
And all this means is infusing with herbs. We're talking about herbs that have a delicate, dainty flavor versus herbs like rosemary or sage that are really bold and robust. So knowing which herbs you're using, the easiest way is to chew on it, taste it. If you've never bitten into just plain rosemary, then that's part of the experience of getting your palate so that you understand what rosemary is and what it does and that you don't need a lot of it.
它这里面说的话是要让你在做这个相当于药材的油之前，你要先了解这个药材的一个特性，因为有的药材的话，它的味道是比较冲的，像八角一样，但是它里面讲 rosemary 嘛，这相当于玫瑰香，
迷迭香，
迷迭香，要有的话，有的话的味道呢比较淡一点，但淡一点的话，你可能会放多一点；如果味道比较重的话，你可能要一点点点缀就可以做配。所以说，你要在做油之前，最好的话是先尝一下这个药膳本身，这样的话你知道你要。
他讲出了一个非常重要的一个理论，就是所以那天为什么我前2天昨天跟张军耀有个沟通，就是说，当你要把一个这种食材的香料放到你的食品去的时候，你首先得知道这个食品的香料它的特性是什么，那么它适合在一个什么样的一个 base 上面，能够把它的这个香味道把它吸引出来，然后放到你的食品上面去。不是说我拿了很多香料，我就想着往上面放就行了，就说一定就是要匹配好。
And this will be one of the ones that I make today. This is my default one. And I see whole things of garlic. I throw them all in there and then cook them down for about 12 minutes. You'll smell it. The whole room is going to light up. A lot of the tricks of the trade for a lot of successful restaurants is that you take the hood system and the exhaust of that goes right in the front of the restaurant. So when people are walking by, hey, let's go here for lunch. That's true.
Yeah.
就是说这个东西它这是今天提取的一个蒜油， 那就是说在大蒜做蒜油的时候，大概要做10分钟到12分钟的样子。但在做的时间中这个过程中，它的大蒜的味道会被提取出来的。然后他就说，大蒜提取出来以后，我们这边是有一个吸油器的嘛，它的味道是直接吸掉的。然后如果是做一个比较好的，或者比较新的一个餐厅的话，它有可能会把这个吸油器的排气口放到门口的外面，这样的话它的排的气是直接出来的。然后门口的人走过的时候，他就闻到，哇，这个大蒜味道好香，他就想一香闻到这个味觉以后，他的这个其他的感官都会被触发起来。哎，我知道这家店是一个。
And it's true. I mean, we pray as marketing. They
You
look
should
into.
tell me earlier.
But we can taste what 6 different things: salt, sweet, umami, spicy. Right? We go through the whole list.
Yeah.
You can smell over 700.
Yeah.
700 different smells that hit you right here, and that's get you to. Or I'm talking about it. You start to think about because we're going to eat in a little while.
他这里
And
讲
you，start to salivate.
我想他想表达的意思就是说，任何一个食材要用这个油的 base 把里面的香味道提取出来，然后在这个提取过程当中，让它的味道又挥发出来，然后刺激你的感官，刺激你的味觉和你的嗅觉，然后让大家想要吃它，这就是整个就是一个 process。我想他要说的就是在这个提炼过程当中，他一个想达到的一个目的，对吧？
At the end of the day, this is all about preservation. Whether it's a vinegar, whether it's an oil, I don't want it to go bad. Whether it's something that I pickled, whether it's something I fermented, I don't want it to go bad. These are methods of preservation. These go back, if you want to go all the way back, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 years ago. People figured this stuff out.
就是说，这个他们今天讲这些，无论是用醋作为这个储存的这个料，还是用油做储存料，都是一种防腐的过程。比如说，这是一种从古代流传下来的，因为古代没有冰箱嘛。他说，如何把这个一个食材的味觉或者一个新鲜食材的味觉保留在另一个食材里面，或者让它这个味觉能储存更长的时间，这是他今天讲的这些东西的过程一个主要的目的。
And we're lucky
就是说，我们今天是非常幸运的，因为我们现在有冰箱。
that we didn't have to figure it out.
对，因为我们已经有这么一
We
个知
take
识。
that for granted. We do. You take it for granted when you just go buy a jar of that or a jar of this, and you open it up, and you think you're cooking. Where we're going now, I want to make our own hot sauces. I want to make the hot sauces, and I want to put those in the window for sale. Why not? Especially if there's a sale on chilies. Let's buy cases of them, crying out loud, and start the fermentation process. The salted chilies that some of you have tasted, those should be made in-house. There's no reason why you have to open a jar. You're paying someone else, and you're paying for the glass. That's just the opposite of what we're trying to do. And it's stupid easy. It really is.
那他的意思就是说，让我们就也相当于组织自己的一个康复活动嘛，就是说，与其到超市里面去买那种现成的一个做好的酱，我们为什么不去买一些原材料？从原材料的本身，让自己来想一想，如何能做出更好的一些味道。比如说今天他做的辣椒油啊，或者今天泡的辣椒，这些东西都是可以保存起来的。不仅可以保存，我们不仅不用花更多的钱，只要花原材料的钱，花这一点的时间，动一点脑子，你不仅可以节省自己的一个成本，第二的话，你还可以把这些东西做出来，直接去卖一些半成品。 卖出去以后也是一样的一个收费的一个盈利点。
It's a smarter way of doing business. It is. There you see a couple of jars of vodka infused with grapefruit or lemons or raspberries, and you're going to see one of the drinks that I prepared up for you here today is a raspberry lemonade.
我们不仅要看有醋啊、有油，还有酒嘛。酒精这是中国人经常做药酒之类的。今天我们会有一种叫 raspberry 这样的，相当于蛇莓的柠檬汁。
I got lemons. I got some raspberry puree. Make lemonade. So I guess like any other culture from something that I might have scratched the surface on, I could probably spend the rest of my life and would probably get 20% of seeing what Hunan cuisine is really like. My idea behind this is probably what I call the grandmother theory. Whereas if you go to India, you say, well, what's the definition of a curry?
就是说他觉得中国的这个湖南湘菜的文化是非常博大精深，就是说他 就算他用尽这辈子精力，可能也只能说学到20%左右的一个他的深度。比如说湖南菜很多是从这个长辈的辈道传下来的，所以说他们说的grandfather 嘛，有时候这种家乡的味道，
代代相传的，
代代相传的。
If it was a spaghetti sauce from an Italian American, from grandmother to grandmother to grandmother, there's little variations.
比如说每一代相传下来的话，是会有一点点的有不同。比如说美国的pasta 的 sauce 一样，每个人 pasta 的酱可能会做有一点点区别。对。
I call it the grandmother theory. There's my grandmother's going to make it better than your grandmother, and your grandmother's going to make it better than his, and so on and so. And when grandma gives you a recipe, you don't change it, all right? Just some words of advice.
对，这是一种代代相传的一个相当于智慧的传承嘛。就是如果你学到一个比较长辈传下来给你的一个配方，你肯定是经过长辈很多次的一种探索和实践的。就是如果你有一个配方的话，你就照着配方做就好，不要去改变太多。
So I guess what my point is everybody might have an interpretation, even from people that have lived there, right? You might have seen that one thing. But understand this, that there's more than one way to skin a cat. There really is. I've worked skin a cat. And
you want to try?
well, I have a chicken that I'm going to do a demo today. No cats allowed.
Skin the cat 就是解剖。
Where's Fluffy?
就是说，每一件事情呢，可能会有每个人都会有产生一个自己的一个相当于经验或者探索，但不只有一种味嘛。说 all roads lead to Rome， 对吧？条条大路通罗马，很多种方式你都可以去接触到一个事情的经历，不只是局限于一点。
So I can't tell you how many chefs that I've worked for. This is the only way we do it here. This is that's not right. And what I found was there was more than one way, and there wasn't one that was better than the other, unless you came up with because you have to work it. They're all different. They're like children. Recipes are like children. Sometimes they're finicky. Sometimes they don't listen to what you ask them to do, or sometimes you're the one not listening and paying attention. So my point really is when I'm cooking today, you might see something a little different, but that's to be expected because I'm not from Hunan. It's not my fault, all right?
It's my fault.
It's your fault. What I come to find, the difference between Szechuan and Hunan is the peppercorn, the flour,
Yep.
right? And the mala,
Yep.
right? Numbing to allow you to continually eat more spicy food, where Hunan has a reputation from friends that I've done research with and talked to that it's just flat out spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can take it, some people choose not to. Some people grown up with chilies and walking around chewing on it, and it doesn't seem to bother them. Whether there might be somebody from England that's the first time they've ever had anything spicy, and the least amount is like, ah, that expression, right?
So you got translator.
No, you translate.
Well, I'm gonna start from what he said. Basically 就是说，因为他本身不是从湖南来的，就算是从湖南来的话，每个人也会对这个湖南菜有不同的理解。所以说，今天我会在这个常州的6道菜里面，会有可能和家乡的味道不太一样。他本身不是湖南人嘛，但是他的意思说，我们不要就固守成规，因为条条大路通罗马嘛，不同的一个处理的方式，或者不同的一些食材或者味觉调味料的加入，也可能会使这个菜不好吃。然后他的意思后面说的是什么呢？就是说湖南菜和川菜的区别，一个是麻辣，一个是湖南菜就更多是单纯的辣，辣味很重。对于辣本身呢，每个人他有不同的接受度，因为他看到你食材的一个敏感程度，或者说你对自己这种灼热感的一个承受度。有的人很能吃辣，你看你这个成长环境下来，从小到大吃辣长大，然后你肯定很难吃辣。或者说你如果一辈子没有吃过辣，你突然尝到辣椒的话，你会觉得有爆炸的感觉。所以说。
So Chairman Mao, here again, the revolution, we all know, we don't have to explain, I don't have to explain to you the history behind this, but the suppression of the amount of chefs that left China through this process. 40 years basically escaping, majority of them, whether not to the United States, but to Taiwan. Some stayed, I watched a little bit of that video that you sent me, and then I went back and watched the one with Ken Hom, because it was an old guy that stayed the whole time doing Peking duck in Beijing, where there was just a picture of a duck spray painted on a wall with an arrow going like this, that this is where you could get that particular duck. And he's done it in the old style. You're talking about 600, 700 years of Peking duck. You're talking about 4,000 years of noodle making. And these ideas were brought from Marco Polo after hanging out with Kubla Khan. Otherwise, the Italians would have never known how to make pasta. And that's the truth. Brought a lot of ideas back from.
他说就是说，当时在大汉的时代到我们之前的文革的时代，有很多人他出国了嘛，出国了以后就把这种中国的流传下来的，无论是做烤鸭的历史也好，还是做其他菜的历史也好，带到了美国。他直接说了一个故事，比如说有一个来美国的做北京烤鸭的人，做了600年或者700年的北京烤鸭。他刚是来美国的时候，没有一个广告的方法，他就在墙上面画了一个烤鸭，画了个箭头，说你来这边能吃到北京烤鸭。这是一种文化的一种交流。
So Chili's, renowned, but they haven't been here that long. Understand this, that Chili's in Hunan province and throughout China have only been there since the 1600s. They were not indigenous to that part of the world. So they come from the Americas. This when the Spanish brought them back with them, the Portuguese started to bring them, transport them around the world. So relatively not that old if you were to think about this.
他说就是这个辣椒本身是一种舶来品，中国的辣椒是从西班牙人入侵的，不是说入侵吧，和中国交流以后，才把这个辣椒的品种带来中国。所以说，中国的辣椒历史其实也只有400年的辣椒历史，没有很长时间的历史。
So whether it's the chilies, whether it's the bacon, whether it's the glutinous rice cones with ham on the inside, some of these things are kind of new to me. But I understand the technique behind it is something that I think that can be learned.
他的意思就是说，他对于他而言，比如说我们这个腊肉啊、辣椒也好，或者湖南的辣椒也好，对他来说是一种比较新鲜的元素。但是即使是新鲜元素，在经过一些的尝试以后，他也会把自己对食材的理解进行一种新的处理。
So we talked about the New World. Chili's coming in here for the first time, 1600s. Chairman Mao used to sprinkle it on watermelon.
刚才上说的就是辣椒历史，他说我们毛主席吃西瓜的时候也是把辣椒撒到西瓜上面。
Can you guys read that
Yeah.
Yes.
PowerPoint? Because
Yeah.
I actually, I copied and pasted
Eric?
in Google Translate.
Yeah, could you go back to the previous slide? Yeah, the 这里说它不使用麻舌头的四川胡椒，然后咸味菜肴缺乏与味同行的甜蜜。
就是它没有甜味，没有麻味，不像那个
四川它用
哎，
甜是吧
四川它有甜的，这个陈品是四川人知道，四川的家里面有甜味和麻味的，这是湖南菜里面不喜欢放糖，不喜欢甜。
而且花椒放的比较少。
哎，花椒不放，
基本不放花椒。Yeah, no.
这个也不好喝，肯定放甜的。
对啊。Yeah, we read the Chinese very well.
Okay.
We
Can you read that too?
Yeah, the English is too small, we cannot read.
I can't see that. These glasses.
We read Chinese very well, of course.
So spicy, garlic, bowls. This is not pretentious food. We're going to try to present it in a different way. Maybe the idea, I think what Sumiao and I were talking about, maybe tapas, small plates, to give people an idea of multiple flavors as opposed to just one plate of one dish. So more of a small plate tapas idea, so people can have more of an experience. And also the check average seems to go up when they go, yeah, you know what, I think we'll take 2 of those. And have a dim sum cart or a cart being pushed around where you can offer that to the guests, I think is a great way. There's a restaurant here in Somerville called Sarma.
Yeah.
And that's,
Middle East restaurant, right?
huh?
Middle East restaurant.
Yes. And that idea of small plates and upselling is very popular. And, yeah. So if you get a chance and you like Mediterranean style, like flipped on its head, the chefs over there know what they're doing, but they're doing it in the style of tapas small plates. So
我们 其像中国人一样这种大盘菜的感觉。我们这边处理的方式可能是一种这种小盘、小量多餐的情况。这样的话，每个人的话不会因为有这道菜点了以后好辣，我吃不了了，我就再也不来这个餐厅吃了。我们只是一小份，你尝了以后即使可能会一开始对它有种抵触的话，你还有很多其他的选择。这样的话，每个菜的本身的成本会降低，然后别人的话也可能会因为我觉得每一道菜看起来都非常好，有一次啪点了7、8道菜，这样的话他的这个欠的账也会往上涨，这是一种不同的一个处理方式，因为它毕竟是一种比较新的元素。如果是那种比较新的元素，一次性有大量的话，别人可能对它的接受提出量会比较大一点。
那就是说，现在就是，尤其当我们把一个我把它的衍生一下，就是当我们把一个新的菜系，尤其是正宗的地方中国菜系引到这个美国这个 local 来的时候，那么我们可能借鉴一些tapas 这种经验，比如 tapas 是西班牙人一种形式的方法，就是小碟菜，一小碟一小碟。那么这样呢，就给大家，我想吃一个 entry 一大碟，你一吃下就饱了，我不喜欢吃，我就不喜欢吃。那么你可以点3、4个这种小碟菜，那么价格呢跟你点一个大的 entry 是一样的，但是这样给你一个机会来经历不同的这种味道，然后你一个是 nutrition wise， 就是营养学上面可以 balance， 味道上面你可以调整，然后这样呢，食物成本也不那么高，那么这样对于介绍、推荐、引荐一个新的菜系到一个新的地方，可能是一个比较好的方式。OK。
So whether it's the salted chilies, that can be all made in house, but we need to get started like next week. Again, we're looking for, you have some of the chilies that are over there, or the chili sauces that I have here. It's about fermentation. This particular one right here is Poblanos Serranos.
你没有试它这个辣酱是非
And
常
it's
的
about a year old, a year and a half old. This one is about a year old, made with mandarin orange. You can top off some of the noodles on there if you're looking for a little extra heat. Fermented black beans, predominant in this cuisine. Probably not telling anything that you don't already know.
看日本的做辣椒，
你们要吃吗？过来就是他做的吗？
他做的好好吃啊！他做的烧chili。
Yeah,
Where did you get the
I got salt and I got chilies. Being coy. They're chilies, that's it.
再拿一个。
We have extra down at purchasing. At the end of the block,
拿个公派上
have extra stuff all the time. That's where all this comes from. Everybody likes the Hung Chao Rao. Chairman Ma's favorite. The stir-fried cabbage is a couple of dishes that I'll be doing today. This is not one of them. I changed my mind at the last minute. I'm doing a spicy numbing chicken.
相当大体嘛，相当大体。
I am doing the smacked cucumbers. Literally, they'll be smacked with the side of my knife, release some of the, break up some of the cells, and they'll get salted.
它相当于太黄化，太黄化之后都被拍的黄化以后，把里面的植物纤维拍烂以后，口感更加酥软。
And I didn't make this today, but I to understand that this is one of Sumyang's favorites.
麻婆豆腐，
And spare ribs, I will be making these today. I found when I went shopping, I found the same ones that I had last week, week before, except that it's not over taro. They're going to be a different flavor component. Of course, everybody understands the history behind this, and the Americanized version, and the real version, and all the stuff in between.
他前面讲到是说他有的今天要做的一些菜，还有一些菜他认为也是很有意思的菜，但他就一定要做。然后刚才讲了什么东西？
And this is one of the books that I started working with for reference here. Some of the dishes that you're going to be eating are out of this book. Sometimes you have to take the recipe from where you start off with and right from the paper or right from the book, and then go back and I'd retweak it, refine it, flip it on its head.
他的意思就是说，他今天做了很多菜，有的菜呢是从这个书里面直接拷下来的，但是有的菜呢是从书里面的，根据书里面这个调味的本子 recipe 进行一些改动，让自己。
那个 chef，can you go back the last slide？
这本书是目前就是英国有一个教师，一个学者，他也同时是个美食家，他全世界旅行写美食书。那么他就最近出了3本，就是介绍中国菜的书，一本是介绍川菜，一本介绍湖南菜，还有一本是介绍中国的所有的混合的这个菜系。那么这本书呢，是他今天就是这个整个的做的菜，还有一些想法，就是 reference 在这个 book 上面的。所以我想说的就是说，目前这是一个英国人叫 Thomas。What's the name of the author again? I forgot. What's the name of the author? From Fuchsia Donald。他是一个英国人，但是说明现在就是这告诉我们一种趋势，就是美食家和这种学者，包括目前我们所有的一些普通人，都在关注更 regional 的、更地方化的一些 authentic 的一些菜式。说明大家不单是吃这个东西，而且在寻找在这些食品后面那些故事和历史、文化和人文。所以就说这就是我们目前就是一个主要的理念。我们为什么要在波士顿开一个正宗的，但是有西方思考的湘菜馆 ？OK。I just made an advertisement.
It's one of the only books that I found that when I started to look at it was more of a contemporary approach as opposed to going back, 40 years and sticking to that. It was more of a refined idea. And we'll see what happens when I finish cooking today and see what you guys think. There might be some things that you'll say, well, it needs more acid or it needs more heat or it needs and that's completely fine. To get a recipe down the first time, maybe once or twice in your lifetime, and then that's about it, because that's like how you use up all your good luck at once.
就他的意思就是说，今天他会做不同的菜，有个菜你可能吃起来会觉得这个菜少一点醋，要酸一点就好了，或者再辣一点就好了。他的意思就是说，这样的时候你只要跟他提这样的建议是很正常的，因为他毕竟第一次做这样的菜，或者说前几次做这样的菜，一次性能成功的概率很低。你可能说，我家煎个鸡蛋，第一次煎的特别好，或者第一次做红烧肉做的特别好，但真正的一次性做成功的时候比较少。 经过多次的试验。
I think that goes along with any research and development. Is the fact that you go back and you rework it and you tweak it and you make it better than it was before. That's part of the evolution.
相当于失败的成功之母嘛，从失败里面学习经验，积累更多的经验，进行更多的尝试和改变。
但是我想说，这里对我们的厨师一个提示，就是说，你作为一个专业的厨师，要知道做一个新创造一个新菜是一个研究的过程，所以一定要。 享受这个过程，享受重复的做同一个菜，把它做到你想要的那个味道的过程。
Then I suppose the idea is after we get to where you want it, then we go, well, how am I going to make it look pretty?
这就是摆盘的艺术。
就除了好吃以外，那么你还要想怎么让它也好看。
How do I present it in a way where it demonstrates the skill of the cooks in the kitchen and the integrity of the ingredients on the plate, and to take, the fermented tofu and I can puree in a blender, put it into a squeeze bottle. Now I can make little dots on the plate when you taste. And you're like, I know what this is, but it looks like that. So you see height, you see color, you see multiple techniques. And to wake is one technique only. But to fit it, stir fry, deep fry, with a braise, something pureed that was just a vegetable, and multiple techniques on one plate denotes how much you can actually charge for that plate. When you look at it, it looks like that.
就如何使自己的一个餐厅的档次提升，除了味觉的一个对味觉的琢磨以后，你要体验到，就要提升到如何用多方面的一个手段处理食材，把食材体现到一个盘上面，不是一道菜只是煎一下没了，或者把这个食材的话多方面的处理，比如煎，比如作为泡沫，把臊子作为泡沫打上去，然后再进行一种新的摆盘。这样的话，如果你在一个盘上体现的你的技术越多，体现你的用心程度越高，而且味觉还很好的，这样的话，这就是你至少这就是米其林3星和普通店的一个区别。
我觉得这是中餐和西餐特别有区别的地方。就当时我在这里上课学 觉得我学到的最大的一个跟中餐不同的一点就是说，我们中餐也有很多 cooking method， 比如说我们就是在炒锅里面炒，就这一种方法就炒出来了，就一个菜。但是在西餐里面，它讲究的是一个盘子里面，我用不同的烹调技术来做在一个盘子里面，然后用不同的技术来点缀它，让它突出，用一些小技术来突出这个主菜的放在主菜里面的它的这个特点，然后讲究这个多技术、多层次、多味道的这种整体的一个体现。而我们中餐不是这样的，中餐他们就是红烧就是这一锅就是什么，这一锅这什么，所以我想这是不同的。
Just some ideas. It's okay to look at things and go, yeah, can I transpose what we're going to cook tonight and present it in this way? I don't know. That's part of the process, right? It's the challenge of how do I make it look like this? Or do I understand and respect it enough to leave it alone? That it's supposed to look like grandma's.
所以在这个 presentation 之前，我跟他有过一个沟通，我就是说我们现在面临的 challenge 就是说，怎么样把我们师傅炒的这些湖南菜，用中国烹调技术炒出来的菜，用他的 idea 把它来摆出不同的味道，让我们的美国顾客能够接受的一种方式。那么他今天要做的这个，他自己会炒湖南菜，但怎么炒出来菜摆成这个样子，他不知道会是什么效果，能不能摆出来，但是他要试，然后这也是我们一个方向。
So it's okay to steal.
就是说你要想去学习别人的那种技术也可以。
对对
This is where it's okay, where we don't get arrested.
偷技术不会被逮捕。
That's all I got. So first course.
这个是他
First
course 第一道菜。
Again, take the gloves off too. If you don't like something, tell me. It needs more acid. It needs vinegar in it. That's the stuff we need
Some
here.
would say too much vinegars and maybe too much salt.
Yeah, a little bit of salty.